Hey guys, here is a tutorial of sorts on how I created the picture-in-picture experiment video. It's actually quite simple, just time-consuming. So first off, the software I use is DaVinci Resolve 15. It is free. There is a pro version. It's expensive, but the free version has all the basics that you need with no video duration limitations, no time period limitations or anything. There are just paywalled effects and things that you would need the pro version to access, but I've never needed those effects. And what you get in the free version is more than I've ever needed. But anyways, I highly recommend DaVinci Resolve. And here you can see my project before I rendered it and uploaded it to YouTube. It is simply 2 video tracks and audio tracks. Now the important thing here is before you create your video, you should decide which footage should be your core background full screen footage and which footage should be your foreground pip overlay. So here I have the cockpit footage as the pip overlay, and that is on my second video track above the background footage. And you can see here I simply muted the cockpit audio. So let's create one. Let's do a new timeline here. I like to use a Z prefix because everything is organized alphabetically by default. Electric Boogaloo, whatever. So here's our blank timeline. First, our core footage is going to be an easy launch here. Where's my first launch? There it is. Okay. Now it's a good idea to start with more external footage than you intend to match with internal footage, because clipping it or cutting it can get a little complicated. So I will mark in here. And where's our launch? This was a terrible launch, by the way. I shot off like a rocket and busted my Case 1 altitude by like 100 feet. Stayed at 300 knots though, so yay me. Okay, mark out here. And we will simply insert the clip and compulsive save. Occasionally the software will crash. I had that happen to me while making this tutorial and it was really frustrating. Okay, so here is our external video 1. For the sake of organization, let's rename it to core. And core audio. Okay, so we will not change these. Next, we need our box overlay, which again I've predestined the cockpit footage to be our overlay this time. And where's my VR footage? Here it is. And where's my first launch? There it is. Nope, too far. Launch bar's not down yet. Oh, okay, way too far. Okay, there we go. I want it when I run up the engines. So here I use the arrow keys to just step frame by frame. So this should be good. Mark in. That was an awful clearing turn. I'm still not used to my Warthog extension. I keep bumping the thing forward whenever I make a turn. Okay, we'll stop there. Okay, mark out. Now here, we want it to be on a separate video and audio track, so we'll click and drag it right there. And you can see the software already created separate tracks for us. And save. And here you need to decide which audio do you want to prioritize? I want to prioritize the external audio, so I will just mute the internal audio. Okay, excellent. This was where it crashed last time. I don't know why. First time it's ever happened. And compulsive save. It's rare that this software crashes on me, but it has happened occasionally. Probably is my computer's crap. Okay. So now, let's make the pip box. So to do that, we don't need our source footage anymore, so we can click Inspector here. And here you can mess with the video and audio settings. So we're going to click on the cockpit footage. Oops, let's rename it to pip and pip audio. Not that it matters because we muted it anyways. Okay, so the pip footage, we are going to reduce the size. I use the zoom, and in the video I uploaded I did either 35 or 40% zoom, so 0.4 for 40. There you go. Compulsive save. 30% is quite small. 35 was alright. I made it smaller if I wanted more of the background visible. Let's just do 40% for the sake of demonstration here. And now we've got to position it. So to move it, the easiest way is to simply click this box. Click and hold the center dot. And drag it as you please. Okay, and there we have the pip. So now the tough part, you can see it's not synchronized. So this is the part that is a little time consuming. Which one is faster? The external is faster than the internal, which is great. Makes things easier. So, to synchronize it, I like to pick some kind of easily distinguished movement. A movement that has a clear point where it begins, or even where it ends, and match the two to that. I've used everything from initiating a turn, terminating a turn, fuel probes coming out or going back in, any kind of movement at all that you could possibly use as an anchor point to sync the footage together. So here, this is easy because it's a cat launch. We'll just sync up when the airplane starts to move. So we're going to find where the movement starts in our core external footage. Oh, those burners look sexy. Okay, somewhere around there. So I'm going to step forward with the arrow keys. There it is. So the strut jumps and it lurches forward a bit. Something around there is okay. Okay, so now we need to click and drag our pip footage to match. And one hint here, if you zoom in on the timeline, it gives you much finer control. If you zoom out, the intervals are way too big and you can't really tune it well. So I'm just clicking and dragging here. I'm dragging the wrong direction, aren't I? Uh-oh. I might have to cut some footage out. Yeah, so that's where the cockpit footage starts. So I'm going to have to do some cutting here. So let's cut maybe somewhere around here. Some of this stuff is just pure guesswork, to be honest. Now, if you have to cut like this, you will need to position lock everything. Otherwise, things will get shifted and totally fucked up. Okay, and now disable the position lock. And now we gotta find the external start point again. Here are the burners. Whoops. Sometimes Resolve doesn't like MP4 files, and the timeline will jump like that. There we go. Oh, that looks so cool. There's our lurch. Okay, now we can hopefully drag the external footage. Don't tell me it's going to do this again. How much more do I have to cut off this thing? There we go. Okay. We zoom in, get some finer control here. There's a lurch. Okay, this might be good. Let's check it out. Let's go back to the start point. Okay, that seems to be synced pretty well. I usually just get it close enough. I've never really split hairs over matching it exactly frame by frame. Okay, excellent. So now we can zoom out. We have some excess there, so I'm just going to delete the excess footage for the cockpit. And let's navigate to the front. I kind of want to keep this excess here for the external, and let's do a cross dissolve so the pip fades in. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and that's basically it. From here I could just render it and publish it. Now, bonus lesson! Let's say you want to move the pip. Because if you notice, towards the end of our video, it's getting close to obscuring our jet. So we want to move this over to the left side. Well, the easiest way to do that let's say we want it to switch positions right around here, so we will cut the clip in half. And the second clip, we just change the position. So here, X and Y, we want the Y to stay the same. The X, let's just do a negative value, and it should be, there we go, on the opposite side. And to make it less jarring, do a cross dissolve. Okay. Save it again. And now to switch positions. Okay. Bonus lesson. Let's make that transition cooler. So let's get rid of that cross dissolve. And actually, let's get rid of that cut as well. So this time, we want the pip to slide to the opposite side. So we want it to slide to the opposite side. Maybe we want the movement to end around here. So let's put a red marker. This will be the end of our movement. And the beginning of the movement, say around here. Let's do a blue marker. No, green. Green for go, red for stop. Okay. So, now, what do we do? Whoops. Aw, you can't skip to the markers. Let's go to the red marker. We'll just snap there, which is nice. So, the end position, we want this to be on the left. So the end position, first, we're going to click this red, well it's red now, this diamond next to the position values. and we're going to put it to the opposite side. That's going to be the end position of our animation. Move this over. Okay. And I think we have to press the diamond here again too. And let's do this. Now you could click and drag it back to the start point, but that's not going to be exact, right? So this line here shows you where it's going to move. So we just want it to shift horizontally, so let's change that negative value to a positive, and there we go. That's the start position. And save. So now, check this out. Let's just watch the full video. It's only 30 seconds. Okay, I totally was not paying attention to the pip. There it goes. Okay, so it's synchronized, and it's animated to slide to the other side. Let's watch the animation again. Okay, pretty cool. And that is some of the awesome stuff you can do with this free software. So anyways, I hope that was informative. Go ahead and try it out on your own if you dare. See you next time.